Hey guys, welcome back. So it's been a while since I've played the game actually myself. I've just watched other players play the game as I'm coming back into the game because of course you guys know I haven't really touched the game for a very long time. I've disappeared for a while, so my skills have kind of gone down a little bit, and that's why I'm still sitting in Diamond 3 because that's where you get demoted after the season gets reset. And so I decided to go with this fun tech lab build, which is nothing too special. A lot of us already know what it is. It's 3 to 4 tech lab units, and then you can use a couple infantry units early game to protect your harvesters, and so you can get out those nice juicy tech lab units later on in the game. So the only infantry unit I bring is the MG squad because the MG squad is just so good at protecting stuff. And my opponent now sees that I have a double harvester here with his attack bike. He tries to kill my machine gun squad with just the attack bike. He doesn't move his flame squad because he's just trying to capture the missile here. But I start moving up a couple more MG squads because I know he's got a unit on the top. But he does move his flame squad at this point, and it is going to, just flamethrower my machine gun squads. His attack bike assaults on my machine gun squads are very questionable because attack bikes actually are pretty bad against machine gun squads. You should never be throwing your attack bikes like that, like he did. He just lost 3 attack bikes to a single machine gun squad here. He does capture the first missile here, but I do get a tech lab up at this point after being able to protect my harvesters very well. And I had a Wolverine up as well. He decides to throw in a drill pod, which didn't make sense at all. He was trying to distract me or something, but I caught on to this. And he decides to go for a double harvester at this point while I get a juggernaut set up. Now, one of my most favorite units from the tech lab is the juggernaut, and this is something I've talked about before in my other videos. But with this build, I was really trying to focus on building the juggernauts no matter what, even if the situation didn't call for a juggernaut. But, in this game, I felt like he wasn't going to have an air unit at any point soon anyways. As you can see, he's got a chem buggy. He does build a Temple of Nod because he has 3 Temple of Nod units. So the double harvester is helping him. He does go for 1 confessor. I go for a Kodiak, and I start shattering his harvesters here. The game looks like it's pretty much a wrap at this point. I mean, at this point, I've got so many good units on the map. The Wolverines, Juggernauts is going to tear apart his confessors. He throws in a drill pod, but that's not going to do anything. And he can't get a harvester out because my Kodiak is pretty much going to kill any harvesters that come out. So he's just sitting, and he's just not really doing much. And I'm just going to speed up because I just do a base rush on him here with my Kodiak, and the game is pretty much a wrap. So there we go, guys. This was kind of like my first game back to the game. It was pretty fun to play, but of course this is a diamond level game, so I know it's not high-tiered, extreme, intense activity and all that stuff. But regardless, it was still a fun game to play. Now, this is the second game that I played right after that first game, and I pretty much brought the same build because it's just such a fun build to play. And once again, I love the Juggernauts because they're just really cool. Really cool and fun to use. Now, my opponent actually goes for a jump jet rush here. And of course, I have no clue about this. I get a machine gun squad up, but he starts hitting my harvester really hard, really fast. And those machine gun squads, they take so much time to set up. And now he goes out of my range from my machine gun squad with his jump jets. So I have to move my harvester away. He does go for 1 shockwave at this point. But I don't know that shockwave's coming. But I know he's doing a jump jet rush on me. So I don't think he has a harvester, which he did not, of course. Now I see the shockwave. I got a little bit too close to it. I do save my harvester barely here. But, one more rocket on, or if a rocket jumper comes up and then fires 1 more shot at my harvester, it's pretty much dead. So, I'm at a very dangerous point. My opponent does go for a harvester at this point. And I'm just moving this wall of machine gun squads slowly. And as I focus fire on that shockwave, he distracts me. And cleverly, he does take out my harvester there with his jump jet. So that was 300 crystals for him. He goes for an early tech lab, which is bad for me because he's got disruptors. He's got zone troopers. I go for double harvesters at this point because you know what? I already lost 1 harvester. It's not looking good for me, but I've got nothing to lose at this point. And I was just expecting more infantry from his side. But, I didn't know he had a tech lab going at this point. But he does have a disruptor, which does come out, which I don't see. But surprisingly, my machine gun squads do a lot of damage to that disruptor. Because there's 3 of them attacking on it. And his disruptor starts attacking my harvester, strangely enough. I do capture my first missile here, which was good. And he does kill one of my machine gun squads finally with his disruptors. But before it can fire a second shot, I do take it out with my 2 MG squads. So MG squads can be very strong if, you don't do anything about it. So you really want to take care of them fast. I get a Juggernaut on the top because, once again, I love the Juggernauts. I get one Hammerhead because I was thinking he might go for an air unit. Now he starts just completely wrecking my machine gun squads down on the bottom with that Disruptor. And my Juggernaut was out of range, so I had to move it up. It was kind of annoying. And my Hammerhead was pretty much useless. It wasn't doing anything at all. This was a complete mistake. I shouldn't have built that Hammerhead. He gets a Zone Trooper as well. And he fires a nice Ion Cannon, of course. But my Juggernaut survives, so it actually survives a level 9 Ion Cannon. I don't know if the Juggernaut at level 8 is supposed to survive that, or if the Ion Cannon got a damage nerf while I was gone, but, you know, regardless, that was really nice to see my Juggernaut did survive that hit. But he did kill one of my Harvesters, so he got 100 crystals, and he does capture the second missile here, so, you know, I'm panicking a little bit here. His Zone Troopers did very well at taking out my units as well. He gets another Disruptor up because I've got Missile Squads and G Squads. And he goes for another bloody Ion Cannon. And that wrecks 2 of my units there. And my Juggernaut's pretty much dead. So the Ion Cannon did so much work. This guy was landing perfect Ion Cannons. Because of course, if you're building Juggernauts, like, they're all going to be placed in one spot. Their Juggernauts are so weak to things like the Ion Cannon. He starts going for Disruptor rushes, trains of Disruptors. He tries to rush my base, but I get a Kodiak up because, you know what, at this point, it's not worth risking me going for the Juggernaut. Even though, you know, I wanted to have fun with the Juggernauts, I'm not going to let these Disruptors kill my base. I knew exactly what he was doing. So he just kind of like throws 3 Disruptors at my base, which did nothing. And that was good for me. My Kodiak completely wrecked his units. Now he's got one Hammerhead, but I've got Machine Gun Squad set up, and I've got Missile Squads. And he starts attacking my base again with those Hammerheads. So this guy was just like throwing units at the end of the game here, basically trying to kill my base with his Hammerheads. And I was like, hey, you know what? I'll take that missile. So my opponent was a good player. He definitely didn't play the game badly. Had he been able to take out my base with those Disruptors and those Hammerheads, he would have won. But I stopped it. I stopped 3 Disruptors with 1 Kodiak, which is nice. And then his Hammerheads, of course, just couldn't kill my base fast enough before the second missile was, or the third missile was done. He could have just, you know, tried to capture the launch pads as well, but I guess he decided to go for the base rush, and he lost. So it was a gamble, he paid the price, and I won the game. Alright, and this will be the final game I want to show you guys, and this time it will be against Commander Jade of the Nod faction. And once again, my build is very similar to what it was before, but this time instead of the Machine Gun Squad, I decided to use the Riflemen and the Missile Squad because it was more flexible to use these 2 units. You know, I can use my Riflemen to scout early here, see what my opponent's got, and then use the Missile Squad to kill any vehicle units, of course. I see that early double Harvester because I saw that second Harvester coming out. I immediately go for Missile Squads. I could have went for double Harvesters myself, but instead of trying to do that, I decided, hey, I could kill this Harvester fast. And that's what I did. I just kept building Missile Squads. He had 1 Laser Squad I saw, and he does have militants of his own as well, but he doesn't build any. He goes for a War Factory at this point because he's got Chem Buggies. And I chase away that Harvester and I do kill it. Now he goes for Chem Buggies here, but because his Chem Buggies are you know, 2 levels lower than my Missile Squads, it does take a lot of damage to my Missile Squads here. And he just keeps going for those double Harvesters. I capture the first missile because that's more important. And I get 1 very quick Juggernaut up. And this is one of those games where I didn't go for a double Harvester because I didn't see the need yet. He goes for a Scorpion tank there. I boost my Juggernaut up because that Scorpion tank is definitely going to be threatening. But my Riflemen quickly take care of that Scorpion tank there. Nice and easy. Keeps going for more Chem Buggies here. And I'm like, okay, you can go for all those Chem Buggies all you want. And these Chem Buggies are actually doing a lot of damage. Not only did he just kill 2 of my Riflemen, but with that Jade Missile connecting the dots, that was, you know, bloody good for him because that took out my expensive Juggernaut unit, and that was very cost effective for him. He goes for a Giga Cannon here with some militants, which was questionable. His Chem Buggy Jade Missile combo certainly was the better choice. He could have constantly, you know, gone for a couple more Chem Buggies here. And that's what he does. He keeps going for Chem Buggies and Giga Cannons. Now, even though he's got a double Harvester build, he has, like, no Temple of Nod units, if you guys look at his unit composition. So that's the interesting thing. I don't think he needed to actually go for double Harvesters at this point. It's more important for him to capture the missile. And he does almost capture the missile here at this point. But, of course, I quickly fire away with my juggernauts, and he lands another catalyst missile with the chem buggy, connecting the dots, killing two juggernauts and a missile squad. This guy was landing some nice Jade catalyst missiles, just like kind of like the Solomon iron cannon like the other guy. So you know, it was just kind of one of those games where this missile contesting was just like never ending, because he was just landing those perfect missiles. And yeah, the missile is still at the yellow zone. Again, he fires another missile, as for some reason my second juggernaut was coming along. He was totally waiting for that. I don't know how he predicted that. And once again, a Wolverine and two juggernauts went down in green flames, but his attack bike just doesn't get there in time, and I do end up winning the game. Man, this was actually, you know, this was a long game, a longer game than it should have been. I definitely could have won the game a lot faster. Of course, his units levels were lower than mine, so you know, this game definitely should have been won by me with the unit level advantage. But he definitely played well, and I love seeing that chem buggy and the catalyst combo, because it's just so frustrating to deal with. The game gets so much longer than it should be, but regardless, that was a fun game to play, and it was a nice try for my opponent to stop me. I could have certainly went for Kodiak battleships, but I really wanted to use the juggernauts as much as I can because I love these units. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know these games weren't too like intense at that Tiberium League level, but hey, you know what? It's also about having fun, and there's also that casual element for a lot of us players as well. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time, and have a great night, guys.